Good morning. Today is May 22nd, 2010. We are going to be demonstrating our recirculating gold sluice that I've made. I've had a video of how this works on YouTube before, but today we're going to be showing how we can classify and process creek bed from Thermal City here in North Carolina. So this is the recirculating gold sluice. Let me show you the pieces of it. Okay, we've got it running. As you can see, the water comes up into our spill tub and then spills out and goes right down our sluice box. Got a really good flow going, so I think I've perfected this to the point where it's going to work really well. I have done a lot of tests in the past with dirt, and it's worked. So I come down here and I do another filtering system just in case a nugget slips through, and then the water pumps right back up through there. Okay, here's our dirt for today. I went up to Thermal City, North Carolina a couple days ago, and I picked up about 500 pounds of creek bed. And what we're going to do is we're going to classify this today with a 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch screen, and then put it through our recirculating gold sluice. Okay, here's what we've got. We've got a bucket full of water. I'm putting my 1/4 inch screen down, and I'm putting my 1/2 inch screen down. Now, since we're using two screens, I am going to have to use a little bit of a hose to water some of the materials down. So I've got 500 pounds of material that I'm going to try to go through today and tomorrow. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to show this one example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shovel full of creek bed, put it in, and in this case, since I can't shake it down very well because the material is a little wet, I'm going to help it with some with the hose. Okay, now as you can see, all the smaller material than 1/2 inch fell into this screen. So this material, and as you can see, there's some real big pieces of quartz here, and I want to take a look at each one of these because there definitely might be some gold veins in this. So I'm going to dump these into a separate bucket, and I'll look at all of that stuff a little bit later. Make sure I get those cleaned out real well. And then my second screen right here is now in the water, and I can just do that right there. And and as you can see, just by, oops, I lost it. I saw a small piece of quartz with gold on it. So I'm going to keep all of these pieces as well. So I'm going to put these into a wheelbarrow that I'm going to run through my sluice box a little bit later. So I'm going to continue this process until this bucket is filled with material that goes through the 1/4 inch screen. And then once these buckets are filled, we're going to run it through our sluice box. Because the smaller the material you have, the easier it is to go through the sluice box. Okay, we've run one full bucket through the sluice. Now, the only drawback of a recirculating sluice, rather than doing something in a creek, is the fact that you got the dirty water. And when you've got the dirty water, you can't see the gold on your mat. So you don't know how well you're doing or anything. So that's probably the only one drawback. So I'm going to do one more bucket, which means we'll have two buckets used thus far. And then we're going to do a cleanup, clean out the water, clean out this tub of all the material that's in there, and do some panning to see what we found so far. I've brought the sluice over and I've put it into this clean bucket of water, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wash down all the material in the sluice into this bucket, and then I will pan that out. And I'm going to pan it out here in just a couple minutes to see where we stand. But we did do 2 buckets of dirt from Thermal City. And so let me clean this out and we'll start panning. Alright, after cleaning off my sluice, there's the riffles and the grating and then the carpet, I've come up with about a 1/4 pan of concentrates. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan these out, but I'm going to have a safety pan, so I'm going to pan them into there, and I'm going to end up panning this material 2 or 3 times just to make sure no gold gets through. So let me go ahead and pan this and show you what I've gotten from 2 buckets of Thermal City creek bed. Now if you know the principles of gold, gold is 19 times heavier than water and 6 times heavier than sand. Now, I'm not being super careful here because I know I'm going to end up panning this other one out a couple times, but let me just get this down. Okay, let's clear this out here a little bit. There's a good shot. All right, I'm going to go back through here and get all the black sands out, but with 2, let's see if I can do it. With 2 buckets of concentrates, this is what I've come up with. Let me focus in here a little bit. Right there, pretty good stash. So we'll continue to go through the rest of the dirt, and we'll see what we come up with today. Been out here for about 3 hours, and so far I've only been able to work, classify, and run through the sluice only 3 buckets of material. Right there in that wheelbarrow is everything that's basically bigger than 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to go back and reclassify that through the 1/2 inch. I ended up giving up on doing both because I've been out here for so long, so I just started classifying everything at 1/4 an inch, throwing it in there, and then putting everything under 1/4 an inch into this bucket and running it through the sluice. So having some pretty good luck. Just takes a lot of time, as you can see, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get through the rest of this material today. So I'm going to go through that bucket and finish off what's in here, and then show everybody what my results are. That's what I've done today. Later on in the week or next weekend, I will be able to go through that dirt right there. But watch for my next video when I'm going to do some crevicing examples up in the North Carolina mountains. So good as I'm going to get it right now. I'm not going to worry about the rest of this. But there you can see what I found today. Some mercury floating on the top of the water here, and you can see matter of fact, holding onto this gold. That's a great example of how mercury works. Mercury in the water attaches itself to gold. You can see it floating there, and of course we don't want those in the water. So always work to try to get that out of the water if you see it. Okay, well I'm gonna go clean this video up and post it to YouTube, and see you in a couple weeks when we go crevicing.
Searching for